Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Bitcoin right now rebounding a little bit after yesterday's decline. Right now, Bitcoin's trading at $21,200 per coin. And if we zoom in there, you guys can see a green candlestick forming after yesterday's comparatively huge move to the downside. So yesterday we saw a dip of about 10%, just over 10% for Bitcoin. And now it's gone back up. So let me throw that on the hourly. We can see what that looks like on the hourly. Looks like what is starting to form is that inverted head and shoulders pattern. All right, hopefully this is going to keep moving to the upside. And so where are we at right now? If I just zoom in there, putting it back on the daily, we are up a little bit. We are up 2%, so 2% up since the start of the day. It's a start. I mean, let's hope we are going to continue to move in that same direction. The other thing I noticed here on the Bitcoin chart here, let me just get rid of some of that, is that we didn't actually form a lower low here. So that's good. That's positive news here. As you guys can see, this former low here, we almost hit that, but we didn't even match that. So we are still technically above that low that we saw back on July 26th. Technically, it's still a pattern moving to the upside. Bringing up XRP here, guys, real quickly. XRP trading right now at about 34 cents. And as you guys can see, it did move down, similar to what Bitcoin did yesterday. It's just following the trend. We're still really in a speculative market. So, all cryptocurrencies following the king crypto. And again, this is a great time to buy, guys. This is Algorand too. I've got Algorand here too on the daily, trading right now at about 0.308. So almost 31 cents. And so my question to you guys, have you cost averaged down? Are you all done? Are your bags packed? Ready to roll? Are you happy with your XRP and altcoin positions? Put it down in the comment section, or you guys can tag me over there on Twitter. I'm at WorkingMoneyCH on Twitter, so give me a follow if you aren't following me already. Michael Branch also bringing this up, an interesting update with regards to the Bitcoin experiment in El Salvador, okay? Here's what they're saying in El Salvador. In a recent tweet, El Salvador's ambassador to the U.S., Milena Mayorga, said that the country is undergoing a turnaround in social fortunes. He later attributed this to improved security measures and Bitcoin. He said, "We are ridding ourselves from the plague that has submerged us in poverty for decades." So as you guys know, back in September, Nayib Bukele, the president of El Salvador, he said, we want to make Bitcoin legal tender in our country. And since then, they've gotten mixed results. Of course, citizens were a little critical at first. This was at a time when Bitcoin was at its high. Then Bitcoin plunged because, let's not forget, this was at this point over here. So September was when they decided to do that, early September. So it was in and around here. We did see a Bitcoin push to the upside, but since then, Bitcoin has plummeted. What does this article say? I think it's like 60%. So he's been plagued with some criticism. Nevertheless, off the back of the Bitcoin experiment, tourists have been flocking to El Salvador. According to the Ministry of Tourism, the number of visitors in the first half of 2022 came in at 1.1 million, only a little short of the 1.2 million that visited during the whole of 2021. So in the first half of 2022, they got almost the same amount of tourists that they saw in the entirety of 2021. Mayorga's recent tweet was accompanied by a United Nations World Tourism Organization chart showing the best performing tourist destinations for earnings in the first 5 months of 2022. And El Salvador ranked 13 of the 15 countries listed, posting a 6% gain in tourism receipts over the 2019 figures. And this is what Milena had to say, okay? She said this: "The ambassador to the U.S. said this data is evidence that El Salvador has turned the corner regarding social decline, all the while also achieving economic freedom. El Salvador is finally achieving true independence from crime and extortion while also achieving economic freedom." So that was the official tweet. I would not count El Salvador out yet. We know it's a bit of a controversial experiment, but, I think Nayib Bukele could come out of this looking like a hero to the El Salvadorian people. And I mean, especially if, now I don't know what they're doing in El Salvador, but especially if they're encouraging people to buy now. I mean, we know we're off our highs by 70% at this point in time, 69.1% at this point in time. And so, I mean, if, El Salvadorians are encouraged or have been encouraged to buy at these prices, they could see, exponential gains. It would be another over 200% back to all-time high, back to $70,000 or $69,000. So interesting to see how that is developing. I also saw this, guys, from the cryptic poet Vechain Thor public testnet update to include VIP 220. So for those of you guys interested in the Vechain protocol and perhaps invested in the VET token, There is a new update here. The new development has passed across moments ago via the official Twitter handle of the Vechain Foundation, and the tweet reported this. The Vechain Thor public testnet has been successfully updated to include this new standard, the VIP 220, aka finality with 1-bit FOB. All testnet nodes now require updating. See links below. In a blog post published in June, and captioned in a recent announcement, Vechain Foundation described block finality as an indispensable property for a modern blockchain system because it provides an absolute security guarantee for blocks that satisfy certain conditions. So in order to improve the consensus algorithm, the Vechain dev team has been working to meet the requirements. Vechain working long and hard to bring their blockchain up to par. Again, another one of these blockchain companies that I'm interested in. The VET token obviously will provide value for future needs. Also trading at a discount right now, just at about 2.5 cents, just over 2.5 cents right now. So another project, keeping my eyes on Vechain. And if we were to get back up to all-time high, what would we see if we were to purchase today? It's almost 1,000% gain, guys. Whoops. Let me bring that up here. If you were to buy Vechain today, and we know that these prices are attainable, we have seen them in the past. Okay, Vechain has gone as high as 28 cents, and this was back in April of 2021. If we get back up there, guys, we could see an increase of almost 1,000%, 972%. So I think it's a great buy right now. Gonna keep moving though, guys. This has to do with the Bank of Queensland. They have selected Ripple-enabled Temenos to transform retail operations. So the Bank of Queensland has selected Temenos Banking Cloud for its banking services as part of its multi-year transformation. The partnership with Swiss banking technology provider Temenos is aimed at consolidating several legacy systems into a single platform to simplify the bank's technology landscape. Through the integration, the lender will be able to offer enhanced and personalized offerings to customers at a low cost-income ratio, the technology vendor claimed. The plans cover BOQ Group's 3 banking brands, including regional lender BOQ and challenger bank Virgin Money and ME Bank. So Temenos, one of those background technology companies that help integrate and keep updating banking systems so that they are seamless for whatever technology is coming down the pipe. And Temenos has been doing this for a while. They've been Ripple enabled since I think 2014 or 2015, I want to say. One of those first big partnerships that many of us in the XRP community were excited about to hear at that time. So their chief of product and transformation, Rob Finch, he said this: "We are modernizing our technology from back to front to give us the flexibility and agility of a neobank while leveraging the scalability and long-term investment of an established institution with 148 years in banking. This will provide our customers with compelling experiences, fast transactions, and cutting-edge features. By leveraging the Temenos platform and the benefits of the cloud, we are attracting new customers and driving growth, ultimately improving our competitive advantage." Great news there, guys, coming out of the Temenos camp. Want to keep moving. I just saw this tweet here from Emi Yoshikawa. She's one of the Ripple ambassadors over there in Japan, and she's welcoming Fukuoka City Mayor Soichiro Takashima and his team at Ripple headquarters today. Fukuoka is a leading city in Web3 initiatives in Japan. So the statement continues as such: "Today, Mayor Takashima of Fukuoka City and people from the international department visited Ripple's headquarters. I have high hopes for Fukuoka City, which is actively working in the Web3 space." So just tweeting out a photo here of these guys over there at the Ripple headquarters. Not too much to say about that. It is a bit of a light news day today, guys, as it is the weekend. James K. Filan posting this. So this is just the latest update with regards to the Ripple SEC case. The Ripple defendants have filed a letter proposing narrowly tailored redactions to a limited number of exhibits to the briefs filed by the parties in opposition to the motions to exclude expert testimony. So just a little summation from this. Dear Judge Torres, pursuant to section this of the court's individual practices, we write on behalf of defendants Ripple Labs, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson to propose narrowly tailored redactions to a limited number of exhibits to the briefs filed in parties' opposition to the motion to exclude expert testimony. Copies of these exhibits with the proposed redactions highlighted have been submitted under seal along with the letter of motion. The limited redactions that defendants request are narrowly tailored to protect the legitimate privacy interests of third parties. The presumption of public access to judicial documents in the context of non-dispositive motions is generally somewhat lower than the presumption applied to material introduced at trial or in connection with dispositive motions such as motions for dismissal or summary judgment. And then they give a case file here. When balancing competing considerations against the presumption, foremost among the competing concerns is the privacy interest of the person resisting disclosure. The letter continues on over here, but I will link this in the description of the video if you guys are interested. Everybody in the XRP community just kind of excited about the update. Digital Perspectives here highlighting some of the key points that the court should grant these redactions articulated by defendants in their July 22nd sealing motion. First, the identities of these non-parties have no bearing. And second, disclosure would be detrimental to these non-parties' legitimate privacy interests and Ripple's commercial relationships with them. So Ripple just wanting to, redact this information from these third parties that are not really involved other than for surface level reasons. So just a little update here, but an update nonetheless. Wanted to thank James K. Filan just for posting that. And I think an interesting new take on the Travelex Bank partnership that Ripple announced just the other day, okay? Just a couple of days ago, Brad Garlinghouse did announce this, and I did a video on this just yesterday if you guys want to check that video out. I will link it up here in the top right-hand corner. But I think we've got some more information, guys, digging deeper. Taking a look at some of the particularities, could this mean that we are on the precipice of a flip the switch moment? And I'm going to tell you guys why in a second. I know in the past, we've had new ODL customers onboarding, and it really hasn't done too much for XRP demand. But here's a theory, and hear me out, okay? Moon Lambo here originally posting this. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong, but Travelex Bank is the first bank ever to use XRP and ODL. Isn't that right? Note that EuroXM Bank, another ODL customer of Ripple's, actually is not a bank, despite the word bank being in its name. So first, let's take a look at Travelex and their classification. So this from Ripple's Insights blog. Ripple launches crypto-enabled enterprise payments in Brazil with Travelex. This was the announcement that was released on the 17th. Or sorry, I should say, with Travelex Bank. So they specifically call these guys a bank. Ripple, the leading provider of enterprise blockchain and cryptocurrency solutions, today announced the launch of RippleNet's on-demand liquidity in Brazil with Travelex Bank, again calling them a bank, the first bank in Latin America to utilize ODL. So are they a bank or aren't they a bank? Travelex is the first bank registered and approved by the Central Bank of Brazil. So they've got that going for them. Could they be considered a bank then? Back to this tweet thread, Crypto Eddie bringing this up. EuroXM Bank holds a Class A international banking license from FSRA in St. Lucia. Travelex Bank details are below. 100% a digital bank. Connection, Banco Confidence. By the way, Travelex has a worldwide presence with remittance services for some provided by another Ripple-enabled company, which is Neum. So that's an interesting point there. T. Gordon X down here saying, no, first Latin American banking partner. These regulations process can take approximately 7 years. There will be a big influx of other banks once they pass the same process. And Moon Lambo just asking, what do you mean by that? In the first paragraph here, Ripple states that Travelex Bank is the first bank in Latin America to use ODL and thus utilize XRP. So there is still a bit more confusion about this. If you go to Travelex's Wikipedia page, okay, right here on the front, it says Travelex is a foreign exchange company founded by Lloyd Dorfman and headquartered in Peterborough in the UK. Its main businesses are foreign currency exchange, specifically issuing prepaid credit cards for all travelers, supplying central banks with foreign currency and global remittance. Travelex operates more than 1,100 stores and 900 ATMs in over 20 countries. So this is the official Wikipedia. Of course, with Wikipedia can be changed at any point, but at no point here in the introduction does it say that Travelex is indeed a bank. This could just be that it has not been updated. And maybe if we go down here, there's some more information leading us to the fact that they are indeed a bank. But, it sounds as though Ripple is giving us the most up-to-date information here. Travelex, the first registered bank approved by the Central Bank of Brazil to operate exclusively in foreign exchange. So, for all intents and purposes, it does sound like they are a bank, okay? Stay with me now. Wrath of Kahneman here saying the funny thing regarding Ripple's Travelex announcement, they dropped the BNT Cambio in as a RippleNet user. So this part of the same story, but going a little off topic here. But BNT isn't a new partner. So he's talking about the original leak from 2020 when Marjan Delantine said that Ripple is going to be opening ODL in Brazil. They did not mention BNT Cambio as an official partner. And so now they decided to drop it along with the Travelex announcement. Anyways, here's what he's saying about this. Also note that lists represented bilateral agreements which are no longer needed. Funny how opaque partnerships and customers can be, in particular to fintech or similar in other industries. Or is this similar in other industries? I sometimes wonder if it's so their competition doesn't get wind of it and also try to get in on the action. I'm sure it happens a fair bit with transformative tech. And if it goes tits up, no one needs to know about it too. Wrath of Kahneman responding could be. I've also wondered if they don't announce a lot of the smaller remittance apps because they are unimpressive. They announce the bigger types from time to time, thrown in a list of smaller ones as well. So maybe that is the reason. It could also be that, well, now that the announcement is official, let's just throw in B&T Cambio connection as well. I mean, we kind of already knew it because of the leak. Nevertheless, Ripple now wanting to make this official. But back to this idea of the bank, okay? Crypto Eri, giving it to us in a nutshell, the new XRP ODL partner, Travelex Bank in Brazil. Here is an official announcement. I believe this was also from, this is the same thing from the Ripple's Insights blog. Travelex is the first bank in the country registered and approved by the Central Bank of Brazil. This is what I already read. Our activities cover operations and solutions for the purchase and sale of foreign currency. So they specialize in foreign currency, current account in foreign currency, and international transfers. Based in London, Travelex is now the world's largest foreign exchange specialist with a presence in more than 30 countries. In Brazil, the Travelex Confidence Group is formed by a brokerage, Confidence Cambio, an exchange house with over 20 years of experience in the sector, and the foreign exchange bank, Travelex Bank, formerly Banco Confidence, founded in 2010. So Travelex Bank looks like it's transformed a bit, was and has been specializing in foreign exchange. I think the key part here, though, is now they're approved by the Central Bank of Brazil, and this is what's giving them the operation license to exclusively conduct foreign exchange, perhaps globally, maybe get onto DLT technology. I don't know how those rules work in that particular country, but I think for all intents and purposes, we can classify them now as a bank. So maybe somebody should be updating this Wikipedia. And Bill at Balasaris 2020 has also got some insight on this. There has been good news recently about Ripple partnerships for ODL and some partnerships that get commented on and then not mentioned again. One of those is Flash FX in Australia that provides cross-border payments using Ripple's ODL and SWIFT. Interesting that he mentions the Flash FX thing in Australia, because I'm going to get to something in a sec that might make you go, Bill continues by saying this is the extract from the Flash FX website, global payments involving 40 countries and 20 currencies. It uses SWIFT for countries and currencies, not Ripple enabled, showing how SWIFT is the fallback position when ODL is unavailable. So SWIFT, the fallback position, if they cannot use the better mousetrap, which is indeed Ripple's ODL. Of course, some will say this does not mean XRP is used. Not so, Bill says. The recent announcement by Ripple of a partnership with FOMOPay on July 26 clearly states that ODL leverages XRP. It is publicly disclosed by Ripple. And the recent announcement about the partnership with Travelex also clearly states that Ripple's ODL utilizes XRP. Real use of XRP for payments. Yet the SEC will boldly tell the court without embarrassment XRP has no utility. So making a comment just there on the SEC. Although based on what I have heard was said in the library hearing recently, the SEC is changing its tune now and saying utility doesn't matter, no doubt understanding that XRP has lots of utility. So a bit of a sidebar there from Bill. But back to this, guys, and the Australia partnership. Did you know, and I know he does tweet out a lot, but did you know that Mr. Poole posted this on the 6th, okay? AU is confirmed, waiting for BR to confirm. Please stand by. Future contact will be established. Transition will end at this time. What the heck does this mean? Tweeted out on August the 6th, AU is confirmed. Now, AU, back to that Australia piece, Reserve Bank of Australia starts pilot to explore CBDC use cases. This occurred on August the 9th, but could he have also been mentioning something that had to do with that Flash FX deal in Australia? He did say in the tweet that it was confirmed, and that tweet was posted months after the Flash FX deal did occur, opening up new corridors. But it is interesting, he says it is confirmed, but now we're waiting for BR. BR? What is BR? Fast forward to today, August the 18th, so what was it, 8 days, 12 days after? 12 days after he tweeted this, and then we get this news from Ripple. Brazil is open for Ripple's on-demand liquidity with Travelex. Of course, we know the rest. Things that make you go, Not only that, guys, rewind back to, I want to say this was from 2019, former Ripple employee Bob Way speaking on what he believes the switch moment for ODL is going to be. It's a very short clip, 14 seconds long, of Bob Way talking about this. Listen to this.
That's what I expect turning the switch is going to be. It's going to be connecting banks to these other payment service providers that are already using the XRapid product and going through XRP now. and increasing the volume. That's
Right at the end there, if you didn't catch that, and increasing the volume. So let me reiterate. Bob Way, a former employee of Ripple's got a lot of knowledge about this. What I expect turning the switch is going to be, in his opinion, at that time. Okay, before any of this was happening, it's going to be the connecting banks to these other payment service providers that already use XRapid, which is now called ODL, the XRapid product, and going through XRP now and increasing the volume. So guys, back in 2019, this is what Bob Way was saying in an interview. This tweet originally courtesy of XRP_Stewart here on Twitter, and reminding us, thank you so much to Anders at X__Anderson here on Twitter also, just for reminding us what Bob Way said. So guys, it's going to be the banks and the implementation of ODL through the banks. The small remittance providers like, the EuroXM banks and the Mercury FXs of the world and the D-Locals and the Flutterwaves and all those small remittance companies that Ripple has partnered with over the years. These are the smaller guys, and it's not until the big banks, like for example, the Travelexes, who we now know is officially a bank, registered and approved by the Central Bank of Brazil. Could this be the beginning of that flip the switch moment? I mean, Bob Way seems to think so. Finally, let me just remind you of this, guys. This coming from @ChainQ88 here on Twitter, and he was responding to that video I did, that original video I did on Travelex just yesterday that I did post in the top right-hand corner. I'd post it again, but I'm not. YouTube doesn't allow me to post the same video twice. But he posted this, okay, just reminding us. The ISO 20022 standard, okay? This new platform will be implemented with a big bang scenario and become live as of November 22nd, 2022. So we know there's also this happening in the background, right? The migration over to ISO 20022, this idea that one day we could wake up and a new financial system is being implemented. So could we see a flip the switch moment? And is Travelex the first inclination that we're going to see real-world XRP utility being driven to the XRP ledger? I don't know, it's a theory, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.